Racheal Cain writes and directs Somnium, a sci-fi horror movie that is, I think, inspired by the works of David Lynch. It is a surreal, slow-moving, kind of drama-based film, all about dreams. So it's a little bit like Inception or even Total Recall in some ways, or at least it has some similar kind of themes. So the movie focuses on this character called Gemma, who is a small town girl chasing the dream of Hollywood in trying to become an actress, but she is, she's struggling, as many actresses and actors are. And to try and make ends meet, she ends up taking this job at this experimental sleep clinic, which basically kind of puts you in like a 6-week program where they actually sort of manipulate your dreams and are able to kind of implant sort of memories and things that can give you like massive amounts of confidence or make you think that you've done things and things like this. So people kind of use this to try and, get what they want by giving them this kind of like confidence in themselves or knowledge and things like this. There is also a kind of a shortened version for people who have mental problems. Anyway, so she is the night person. She kind of works here overnight and basically kind of takes care of things. She's more or less just sort of like a security guard, really, more than anything else. But she keeps on getting these sort of strange visitations, so we say, from this kind of creature that's kind of lurking in the shadows, and there's things going on which kind of seem a little bit abstract and out of place. And as the movie goes on, we take a deep dive, so to speak, into Gemma's psyche. But what will happen, you will have to watch the movie and find out. So the plot synopsis I've given you is somewhat vague, but the movie is very ambiguous about what it is, what its themes are. A lot of it is about chasing your dreams, and then the actual, literally, about affecting your dreams. So let's discuss what works in this movie's favour. I think its biggest strength for me is our lead actress, who I think makes a very likeable and fallible type character. She's kind of this small-time girl with big ideas, and she's quite naive in some ways and sort of vulnerable, and she sort of she meets a few people along the way, and her just kind of like her wide-eyed sort of bewilderment about the world around her just makes her a very kind of like, likeable character. And I will say as well, I think the acting is very strong. We actually see her read a part for an audition, and and then our actress looking at playing this actress, you can just see the kind of the depth of her acting ability, and I thought she did a great job here. I really liked the musical score in this movie. It's very effective, and actually I think does a long way to giving you this kind of uneasy feeling on certain times where it has these kind of more horror elements. It is a light horror film. There's not really anything too horrific in the movie, but it certainly has this the feeling of something is not quite right, and there are some, as I say, this kind of creature, which I won't tell you too much about. The effects work is done very well. It's shot incredibly well to kind of like really kind of have some kind of quite creepy imagery in regards to this kind of like this sort of creature that kind of pops up here and there and kind of lurks in the shadows. And there's a lot of things going on that the movie is trying to hint at certain things without kind of really, spoon feeding you about what's kind of going on. And some of this kind of like the ideas here are deliberately kind of left to you to decide what has actually kind of gone on to a large degree. So there is a kind of surreal element to it, but I think, as you follow the character of Gemma, I do feel because of her general sort of naivety, you sort of follow it through from her perspective. So I thought it was, quite a well done sort of movie, and there's a cast of other sort of kooky characters that we meet through the movie. Let's discuss what doesn't work. if you like a movie which is very sort of straight and tells you what, you know, what's happened, this might find, you know, you might find this one a little bit frustrating because the movie is deliberately being so vague. But if you like a more thought-provoking one, then, you know, give it a go. But I can understand why that won't be for everyone, because the movie is, as I say, deliberately vague, deliberately ambiguous. For me, the real critique I have of this movie is at times it's painfully slow. It's really a slow drama, to be honest with you. It's kind of sci-fi and horror elements. And there are scenes here that I feel are superfluous. I think the movie spends way too much time with flashbacks about her ex-boyfriend, who, we get it, you know, it's sort of, we get everything you needed from the flashbacks that could have been done in one flashback, if you ask me. And yeah, there's times here where you know, it just feels like, yeah, okay, you know, we kind of need to move on from this. And I didn't think that one particular actor was particularly strong. There's also another actor who plays kind of like a movie producer, and it's such a weird role, to be honest, that sort of comes out of nowhere. Again, bear in mind the themes of the movie and stuff and what's kind of going on, but it just seems like such an odd character, to be honest. So the movie is, I think, not going to be for everyone, purely because of the kind of like the way that this movie is a slow and sort of surreal movie in many ways. But it's, you know, there's some interesting sort of stuff going on. It doesn't all quite work for me. Some of these sort of plot elements to me, you know, you left a little dangling. There's characters where you feel like, why do we spend so much time with this character? And, you know, but it's an interesting movie, and I think it's very well made. I will give it a 6 out of 10 because I think the craft of this movie is very strong. The story, it's not super gripping, I have to be honest, but there's some interesting things going on. Have you seen it? What did you think? And please do let me know your thoughts, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.